Um, while we are learning today about healing and detoxing and cleansing for this new season after our in Florida, at least. I know some of you are from New York and other places where it was even colder than Florida, but we had a little bit of a cold winter, though I don't mind it. I kind of enjoy the cold when it's in Florida. But some of us just huddled in and didn't really maybe feel like going out and being active because you were too cold. And so now that the weather is nicer, we can get our bodies moving and circulating and do that cleansing. I love this time for renewal and cleansing um, in the springtime. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. And if you are local to our area, we will be doing a similar thing tomorrow at our Healing Hippie Holistic Haven in Orlando with some DIY. But you'll learn, we'll give you the recipes today. So, and don't worry about taking notes if the presentation goes by too fast. You will get the recording tomorrow, and you can easily screenshot the screen on the recording when you want to keep and save a recipe. Well, DIY recipes are really a great part of coming to these classes so you can learn how to make all these different things that you may have the oils for and be wondering, what can I do with this oil? Well, that's why we do these classes so you can learn how to utilize your oils in so many different ways. And maybe you don't have the oil yet, and it's an oil that you thought about but didn't really know what you would do with, so you never bought it, and now you may know why and why it would be great to have it. So we're looking forward to all of that amazing learning. And I just ask as we come together today to learn all of this and learn how we can continue to heal our bodies and cleanse our bodies, that we send prayers or good vibes or whatever you are aligned with in that world to our uh, amazing, beautiful Ayurvedic practitioner in our team from California, Miss Shanti, who was supposed to be in this class with us today, teaching it with us, and for us to learn more about Ayurveda with her because she's studied that. She's an expert in that ancient Indian technique of healing with food and herbs. But she was in a pretty bad car accident and was hit by a drunk driver out there in California. So I just ask that you keep her in your prayers. She's being taken care of. She's doing all the things she knows to do, but she's still in the hospital and won't be with us today for the class. So that just wanted to let everyone know that was the reason, and that you please just hold her in prayer and so that she can come out of this and heal fully from the injuries that she sustained during the accident. Yes, thank you, Denise. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Because of the head injury, it's very difficult for her to be using technology and lights and things like that. So it gives her bad migraines and she gets dizzy. And so she can't be on with us. But if you follow her on Facebook or Instagram, she has posted a couple of updates. So you can send her a message of care there. And we'll just be holding her in prayer today as we work on all of this and work on ourselves and send healing energy to the world and to ourselves, right? So thank God she survived it and she's working on her healing. Amy, are we ready?
Almost.
Okay, let me know. She's working on getting the slide together. In the meantime, in the chat, if you could put where you are connecting from, some of the names I recognize, and what you're hoping to gain from today's class. If there's a specific area of wellness you're looking to target, any level area of cleansing, whether it's filtration organs or heavy metals or detoxing your environment, if you still haven't figured out, what to do with like chemical cleaners in your home because you just think that if it's not Clorox, it's not going to get it clean enough. Any of that, put that in the chat so that we can, answer those things or maybe spend a little bit more time in that section of the class. there's anything you've struggled with in the realm of cleansing and detoxing. Because, and I also ask if you can, if you're, in a space where you're able to keep your cameras on, at least for part of the class. I'd love to see your beautiful faces if that's so, if you're available to do that. So it doesn't feel like I'm just talking to myself the whole time. But I understand if you're, in the car or you can't, that's totally fine too. I'm very happy that some of you are able to come on a class with us on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock when there's so much else going on, right, on a Saturday. We normally don't do classes on Saturdays or this early, but Shanti had asked that we do it because, with the time change in California, she felt like this would be a good time for them out there. So we're just experimenting a little bit with our Zoom classes, but normally we do them in the evenings on a weekday when you can just kind of listen in as you're having dinner or doing the dishes or, and we normally have a nice big crowd with us on our Zoom classes. So today is a special day where you'll get extra attention if you need it. If you need to share a little bit of what you've been dealing with, we're happy to guide you. We have some amazing experts. I can see Denise on here who has been using essential oils and has healed her body of things that the medical system would have you believe are unhealable. So, very powerful stuff that she's learned and loves to share. I see Miss Marlene, not me, but another Marlene, on the call as well, who is an incredible spiritual healer, Reiki master as well, that knows a ton about essential oils and healing and all the things. Thank you, Kelvin, for turning your camera on. Kelvin's out there in the Bronx, the BX, where I was raised as well, and only the strong survive. But the oils can soften our Bronx attitudes just a little bit, right, Kelvin? Just a little bit. Thanks for being on. We have a couple Zoom users too. I'm not sure who they are, incognitos, but welcome. And it looks like we're good, Amy. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let me pin. Okay, I guess we can pin you. Well, I guess I'll pin myself first. Um, is that the first slide?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you gonna start then, or there one that specifically is for home?
There's a few slides after this that's for home, and then we'll transition to body and then energy.
So do you want to start this? Is this the section, home is your section, right?
Right.
Okay, so you want to start it off then?
Hi, everyone.
I'm gonna
I'm Amy.
let me just pin you first. And let me introduce you. So Miss Amy um is has been with us for a couple years now as well with essential oils and is a great resource. She loves looking for recipes and DIYs, and she's just great at that research. In fact, she created this PowerPoint we're using today for our class. So applause for Amy and thank you for doing that because with everything that I'm juggling these days, this is why I haven't been able to be as active with our Zoom classes. But we're coming together as a more cohesive team this year. That is the goal, to inspire other people to join us in this journey of touching lives in the world, right? It takes a village, and I certainly cannot do it on my own. So thank you to Amy for creating this PowerPoint, and she has chosen to share everything about the home and cleansing the home. And she is a bit of a roommate these days with me and my new, she's knocked out over there after a nature walk. But some of you may not know I just adopted a doggy that has some pretty severe separation anxiety and was extremely traumatized in her journey to her new home with me, which that's a whole nother talk we could have about that. But follow her page if you want to learn more about her. But Amy is her nanny, and she comes out when I'm out here in the country in the medical offices doing laser on clients and providing all the things we know about healing. So I've seen firsthand how she is always looking for ways to detoxify our environment, replace things that, we're the place that we're staying at, which isn't technically an Airbnb and has all this other stuff here that we don't want to use. So it's been awesome to just see how she's looked at what we could transform here to make it healthier. She remembers to turn the diffuser on and has our oils right around. And even for my doggy, some natural things because out here in the nature area, fleas and ticks are more prevalent. So yeah. So thank you, Amy, for being on, for creating this amazing class, and for joining us to teach today.
My pleasure. I'm glad to be here. So we're gonna go over the home first, non-toxic green cleaning and fun DIYs. So why switch to green cleaning? Most of us want a really clean home, right? But here's the thing. Many conventional cleaners are actually making our indoor air worse. They pump out volatile organic compounds that can irritate lungs, trigger headaches, worsen asthma, and even mess with hormones. Crazy enough, the air inside our homes is often more polluted than outside. And all those chemicals just go down the drain and end up hurting our rivers and soil. And it's not just the air. A lot of the stuff in regular cleaners is pretty sneaky. Parabens and phthalates are known endocrine disruptors linked to hormone issues. Sulfates strip your skin's natural oils and leave you dry and irritated. Then you've got all the synthetic fragrances and harsh surfactants that can absorb into your body over time. That's why we love the switch to plant-based cleaners. They're powerful, they smell amazing, and you actually know what's in them. Simple swaps, big difference for your family and the planet. Go ahead and screenshot this slide because you'll want these ideas for later. Green cleaning uses ingredients you can actually recognize. These aren't just gentler, they're still powerfully effective for everyday use. Natural alternatives like vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils give you simple, affordable, multi-purpose cleaning that really works. And the best thing about using essential oils is they don't just clean. They also lift the mood and freshen the whole environment in a way no conventional product can. You might want to take a screenshot of this slide as well. Now, I'm very glad to introduce you to doTERRA and their beautiful Abode cleaning line. doTERRA creates pure therapeutic grade essential oils and plant-based products that are safe for your family and actually effective. The Abode line is free of phosphates, sulfates, dyes, and chlorine. It's designed to replace everything under your sink with safer, refillable options. It's made with powerful oils like tea tree, lemon eucalyptus, cassia, and lime that naturally disinfect, cut grease, and leave your home smelling fresh and clean. This is green cleaning that actually works better, gentler on your skin, and better for the planet. Now let's talk about one of doTERRA's most loved collections, the On Guard line. At the heart is the On Guard blend, wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. The star product is the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. One bottle makes tons of spray bottles for counters, bathrooms, floors, and even dishes. It smells warm and spicy, citrusy, and cuts through grease like a champ. And one bottle really does the work of many toxic cleaners. The whole line, including laundry and hand soap, gives you consistent natural protection with that uplifting scent. For $18, you can make 18 16-ounce multi-purpose spray bottles, which is very convenient. On the right here are the results of Julia's science fair experiment that she repeated 3 times. She compared On Guard Cleaner, Lysol, and Clorox to see how much bacteria grew in each Petri dish. And the top left there is the controlled floor with no product at all. And as you can clearly see, not only are Lysol and Clorox highly toxic, they are not nearly as effective. We use this one concentrate from kitchen to bathroom. No need for a bunch of bottles under the sink or headaches from toxic fumes. And finally, let's talk about what we put on our skin and our hair. Your skin and scalp absorb a lot of everyday products, and many conventional products still contain parabens, phthalates, and sulfates that can again disrupt hormones. doTERRA skin and hair care use plant-based ingredients and pure essential oils to gently nourish instead. Switching here helps lower your daily toxin load and supports better hormone balance and energy. These products are also award-winning, which is pretty cool. They're recognized for being great. And here we have pictures before and afters. Harsh chemicals and accidents can cause serious skin damage. These are real examples of a third-degree burn from boiling water and a chemical burn. When we remove the toxins and use essential oils properly, healing can be pretty amazing, as you can see. Tea tree is fantastic for cleansing when diluted, lavender calms irritation, and frankincense supports tissue repair. Look at these healing after pictures using tea tree and lavender. It's incredible what the body can do with natural support. And here are a couple super simple DIYs that you can make at home. The tub and sink scrub and the cutting board cleansing spray are both multi-purpose and can smell amazing, depending on the oils you use. Go ahead and screenshot this. They're easy and they work great. doTERRA also provides awesome courses through their training portal. The home edit training makes low tox living simple by showing easy cleaning swaps room by room, kitchen, bathroom, laundry, and more. It helps you replace everyday products little by little, reducing chemical load while creating a cleaner, healthier home. And at the end of the presentation, I'll make sure to link this link in the chat. And good news. To celebrate doTERRA's 18th anniversary, we have 18% off these favorite oils until the 28th of April. Lemon, lavender, tea tree, peppermint, and frankincense, which is perfect timing since these are the exact ones that we've been talking about. So we clean up the home with green cleaning and better skincare and hair care options. Now let's shift to supporting the body from the inside. Marlene's going to do this next part, all about gentle detox that actually feels good, no harsh cleanses or misery required.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I always love showing that slide with the Petri dish and the experiment. I can't count the times I've shared that over the years with people because when it comes to cleaning, people have this thing where they really think you need these harsh chemicals or it just isn't cleaning enough. And that is so eye-opening to see that it doesn't even clean and they're putting horrible things in their home that could cause them, well, are causing them issues with their health for no reason because it's not even cleaning. And the other thing I hear a lot is, well, it's too expensive to clean with better products or natural products. And the On Guard concentrate, like you showed there, one bottle makes 18 bottles of cleaner, which is basically $1 per bottle, which you can't even get at the dollar store anymore because it's now $1.25 there plus tax. So I love that slide for that reason. But yes, let's talk about detox now from the inside out. So detox isn't about starving the body or doing extreme cleanses. It's about supporting what your body is already designed to do every single day. Your body naturally processes and eliminates toxins through systems like the liver, the kidneys, the skin, the lungs, and the lymphatic system. And the liver plays a central role, working in two key phases. First, breaking down substances, then packing them so they can safely be eliminated through urine, stool, or sweat. What's often overlooked is that the issue isn't just exposure, it's capacity. Many people are low in key nutrients like B vitamins, magnesium especially. If you have ever never looked into magnesium, there is a doctor named Carolyn Dean who wrote a book called The Magnesium Miracle. Highly recommend reading that book. It's life-changing. So magnesium and antioxidants that these detox pathways rely on. When those are replenished, the body is far more efficient at doing its job. Support the system, and the body knows exactly what to do. 1 second, it's not moving to the next one. There we go. To make detox easier, we start with a strong foundation. VMG, which stands for vitamin, minerals, and greens, is a whole food multivitamin with enzymes and probiotics, way better absorption than most synthetic ones. And even natural ones. It still has better absorption because it's liposomal, which means it gets absorbed into the body much more deeply. Research showed it lowered inflammation markers and even improved biological age clocks in just 6 weeks. Plus, it stays active in your body for at least 8 hours. So you get a steady support all day long. It's important to note that we say at least 8 hours because when doTERRA tested VMG, they ended the study in 8 hours because they thought it would start to at least decline the absorption and the usage in the body a few hours after because pill vitamins only stay in the body for an hour or two maximum. So they figured 8 hours, we'll have a better idea of, when the efficiency starts to decline. But in 8 hours, it hadn't even dipped. So now they're redoing the study to see just how long it's in your system before it even dips. And that is powerful because you can feel that energy throughout the day and you're utilizing way more of the nutrients in your body. E Omega Plus gives you high quality omegas plus wild orange essential oil. The wild orange actually helps preserve the fish oil so it stays fresh. That's why these keep your cell membranes healthy so toxins can actually exit the cells. You should try popping one in your mouth. They actually taste great, just like orange. They don't taste fishy at all. And fun fact, if your omega supplement smells like fish or tastes fishy, it actually means it's probably rancid and not fresh. So it's already oxidizing. Try these and you'll immediately see what we mean. For PB Restore is a powerful probiotic with 30 strains that help your gut finish the job. So toxins get released and eliminated instead of reabsorbed. Together, they give your body the raw materials it needs to detox naturally every single day. And important to note that it also has a prebiotic. A lot of probiotics are just probiotics and it doesn't have the prebiotic. So they'll advertise and market it has a quadrillion, zillion, billion probiotics. But when the stomach acid is eating up most of that and it's not reaching where it needs to reach, it really doesn't matter. So it's really important that it has that prebiotic. And if you ever looked at the pill and how it looks like it's double encapsulated and protected, that is why, because it's allowing it to get to the part of the body that needs it. Super important. Here's one of my favorite tools for gentle daily detox support. This is the Revitazen Complex. This blend and the Revitazen Plus Complex pills support your liver, kidneys, and digestion with adaptogenic essential oils like tangerine, rosemary, geranium, ginger, juniper berry, and cilantro. It also brings strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. Inside, you get extra help from milk thistle for liver protection, artichoke for bile flow, black cumin, and much more. What I really like is that it helps your body stay balanced even when life gets stressful. Because when cortisol is high, the detox pathways slow down. And Revitazen helps keep things running smoothly so your body can do its natural cleansing work without extra resistance. And so this is a formula that you can actually take long term, not just when you're doing a deliberate detox for a short period of time. It's gentle enough to stay on. And I do recommend most people stay on it long term because those parts of our body are what get hit the most, with what we're eating, what we're breathing in, what we're exposed to on our skin. And so it needs that support all the time. I also recommend, well, it's probably further in the pen. I'm not even going to say it yet because I know it's going to be in here later. And I'm just going to repeat it again. But yeah, Revitazen, definitely you want to take that consistently. The heck did I do? There we go. Now, hydration is one of the simplest but most powerful parts of our daily detox as well. And you'd be surprised when I'm doing my wellness consultations and I ask people how much water they drink. I would say 85 to 90% of the time, people will admit not enough, not enough, not enough. And I always say, well, why? And it's interesting. The reasons are either I don't like the taste, it's boring and bland and blah, or well, then I'll have to pee all day. So, what that tells me is that they're not drinking properly infused water because when you do, your body absorbs what it needs most of all, and you won't eliminate as much. And it'll taste better too. So, two birds, one stone. So for this, we have MetaPower Electrolyte Mix, which is also called Recharge, and it delivers the right minerals so fluids actually move in and out of your cells, keeping your kidneys and lymph system flowing smoothly. Collagen peptides strengthen your gut lining and keep your fascia flexible, that web-like tissue that can hold onto waste when it gets tight. So what the body does sometimes is when we are toxic, it will trap toxins into the fat because it wants to protect your blood from getting poisoned. And so a lot of times I'll hear, I have such trouble losing fat and losing weight. And a lot of times it's because they're not detoxing properly. So the body's holding on to that because it's toxic and it knows that if it burns the fat away, you're going to have these toxins floating around in your bloodstream and you're going to get really sick. The body is very smart, smarter than we are. So when we do the things we need to for our body and detox properly, the body goes, okay, it's safe now. You can go away and flush out with all these amazing tools that you're using to cleanse better. Here's an easy upgrade. Add 1 to 2 drops of lemon or any citrus oil you enjoy to your water. The limonene that's the chemical component in all the citrus oils, gently supports your liver and makes it taste bright and fresh. Simple, steady support, no drama, just better flow and better alkalinity in the body too. Because an alkaline body is a healthier body than an acidic body. And ironically, drinking citrus oil does that to your body, even though people tend to uh, think of citrus as acidic, right? But the oil is not. Limonene is that wonderful natural compound found in citrus peels, especially lemon, that gives them their bright, fresh scent. It's fantastic for digestion, and many people notice less occasional heartburn and reflux. Again, a misconception that if I drink lemon or something acidic, they think I'll get worse acid reflux, right? The opposite happens. And it's because it helps food move through your system at the right pace and neutralizes excess acid. It also supports regular bowel movements, helps with cholesterol balancing. I mean, high cholesterol is an epidemic in this country, and statins are the worst for that. Okay. Very, very bad. And can even act as a mild appetite supporter for weight management. On the detox side, limonene is a powerful antioxidant that helps your liver process and eliminate fat stored in toxins, just like I mentioned earlier. So the fat will go, okay, I can burn away now. You don't need me to protect you from poison toxins in your blood. Super simple way to use it. Just add 1 to 2 drops of lemon essential oil to your water every day. It's a gentle, effective, and it tastes great. And lemon is one of the oils that is 18% off additionally on top of your 25%, on top of your rewards discounted percentage. So at that point, 55% plus 18%, do the math, it's like pennies. Pennies, it's already pennies per dose up till the 28th. So stock up on your lemon now. Don't just buy one bottle. Stock up. It might have a limit on how many you can buy. Sometimes when they're on sale, they let you buy 4. Maybe, but stock up because that's something you're going to use every day and you're going to run out of it and wish that you had another bottle at a discount. So stock up on it. The MetaPower line is designed to give your body gentle daily support from healthy metabolism and natural detox. At the heart, it's the MetaPower blend, grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. These oils work together to support metabolism at the cellular level and promote steady energy. Mito 2 Max helps your cells produce energy more efficiently. It builds strong cellular energy right when your body is getting nourished and gently detoxing. Because when you detox, even if this is gentle, if it's something new you're introducing into your environment, into your routine, into your life, into your body, you may still feel some detox symptoms, right? And some of that could be fatigue, less energy at first. And so that Mito 2 Max is going to help replenish that for you so you don't have to go down and you can live your normal life through these gentle processes. You also have MetaPower Assist to help your meals become more nutritionally valuable, plus convenient soft gels and beetless for easy daily use. For craving control, the satiety gum is a natural appetite suppressant, helping you eat more mindfully and avoid necessary snacking. I love that gum. I always have that gum close by. When I run out, I get so stressed. One interesting study suggests that MetaPower Blend may help reduce fat droplets from entering the fat cells. That's huge because it's not that our bodies make more fat cells or less fat cells when you lose weight. We always have the same amount of fat cells. It's what fat enters that cell that matters. And so when something can restrict that from happening, that's where you can really see a difference in your weight loss or maintaining a healthy weight. In simple terms, this means it can make it harder for your body to store new fat from the food you eat. So the fat has a better chance of being used for energy instead of being packed away. This supports healthy weight management and a lighter feeling over time. Together, these tools make supporting your metabolism and gentle daily detox feel simple, sustainable, and effective. And if anyone on the call has already used and implemented the MetaPower system and felt some sort of benefit or noticed a difference, please post it in the comments because everyone is so different and we all feel different benefits from these products and from these essential oils. So I love to see the difference. And I'm sure everyone else will be curious to see what other people feel. I can tell you my experience with a couple things, but for sure, Mito 2 Max. I remember years ago, I was doing a big tour with doTERRA where I was traveling all over the country. We were doing a program called Diamond Club, which is a very strenuous program that really takes your business to another level, but it's a lot of work. And I remember we were driving from, I think it was North Carolina to New York, and I had driven from Florida there, and I was feeling so exhausted and so drained. And I remembered getting to that point of feeling like I wanted to give up and drive home and just be done with this trip because we still had New York, Maryland up. It was a long trip. I think I was even going to Pennsylvania, and it was a long trip ahead. And I was like, I think I may give up. I think I may just throw in the towel, go home and start again another time. But I made it to New York. I took some Mito 2 Max, and I remember forgetting like that I had done it and just kind of like going through my days, the next couple of days, not feeling the fatigue, not needing those naps that I was taking, but also not feeling jittery. Because sometimes when people take these energy boosting things like the drinks and stuff like that, you can tend to feel like a caffeine rush and then a drop from that or a crash from that. And I didn't. I felt this normal, balanced energy, mind clarity, and like days later, it hit me because I was feeling good. I had taught some classes. I didn't feel nappy or tired. And it hit me like, you were ready to give up a few days ago. Like, what changed here? And it hit me that it was the Mito 2 Max that, in fact, one of my friends and I believe mentors in my team sent it to me because she knew what I was going to be going through. And I was, newer. I hadn't taken all the products yet. So that was my experience with Mito 2 Max. It was amazing. And with the Advantage, it's been a game changer for so many things. My metabolism, some of you may know I have a very painful chronic injury to my hands I've been dealing with since over a year ago now. And when I don't take it enough, I notice a major difference in the soreness of my hands. My hair has been growing so much more. I was even kind of having a little bit of um a spot on my head where you could see the scalp. Like even my boyfriend told me yesterday, yeah, your hair is looking so much better. I noticed. He said, I wasn't gonna tell you I saw it. I was never gonna tell you I saw that that spot on your scalp, but I saw. So, and I was like, thanks for not saying anything. You were smart about that. But it is getting much better. And I do take 2 per day just because I have that extra need for that, support on my joints and my fingers. But it's been a game changer. So, and I just look at it as replace Starbucks with that. If you're thinking, oh, the affordability of it, and if you do the math on the things that we take for energy or helping us through the day and things like that, that are not improving our health at all, you just replace it for something like this, and you're saving money and you're saving your health and you're doing so many things that are going to end up costing you way more in the future. Okay, so before we move on, take a quick screenshot of this slide so you have all these simple practices saved. Easy, effective ways to support your body's natural detox. Use a castor oil. See, I know it was going to be in here. Use a castor oil liver pack with a drop or two of Revitazen essential oil blend. It supports liver function, reduces inflammation, and helps your body eliminate toxins while you relax. So you just put the castor oil, and we do have a castor oil. So use ours for sure. It's cleaner, it's much safer. And just put it on your liver and get a castor oil pack. Like doTERRA gave one out, I think it was last month. But like back in the day, I used to cut t-shirts out and do it. It was super messy. They now have castor oil packs designed for that. So definitely get one and make sure you look at the material of it, that it be natural cotton, not like polyester or anything with plastic in it. Because again, that castor oil is going to drive into your body whatever that's made of. So you want to make sure the castor oil pack material is made of natural cotton. And if it's not, then do that. Get a natural cotton t-shirt with no dyes or anything on it. Or buy a natural cotton, because t-shirts are usually dyed. That's why they're white. A natural cotton type of material and put it on that castor oil pack. And then you can tie it around and it stays on. Rebounding on a mini trampoline is fantastic for stimulating your lymphatic system, improving circulation, and lowering stress hormones. Dry brushing before your shower promotes lymph flow and gets the blood moving. Tongue scraping first thing in the morning removes accumulated toxins and bacteria so they don't get reabsorbed. And this is super important if you are new to detoxing or new to any new regimens for your health. Your tongue is going to be one of the first things you start to notice it on. So just having that tongue scraper is important. Material too. Make sure it's copper or some natural metal. And for heavy metal detox, we have a gentle advanced formula that uses nano-sized particles and a unique cage-like mechanism. It safely binds heavy metals like lead, mercury, and arsenic, then helps your body eliminate them while protecting your important minerals like magnesium and zinc. These are all simple practices you can use and add gradually. Screenshot this now if you haven't already. And the metal detox that we're referencing here, when it comes to doTERRA, you're going to focus on the Revitazen, you're going to focus on cilantro and things like that. This heavy metal detox is from a different company, but I added into my doTERRA presentations because heavy metal detoxing is so important and it's very, very difficult to remove heavy metals from the body. Okay. Not a lot of things that are marketed as heavy metal detoxes actually remove metals. And a lot of the things that potentially could are not clean enough when you're even utilizing them. Something that I learned about them, if they do bind and collect heavy metals and toxins, if the company is not really, really good at cleaning them properly, you can actually be putting that into your body. For instance, they've done studies on some of these materials like zeolites and things like that, and found diesel fuel in the product because of when they went to excavate the product with the trucks, it got into it and they didn't clean it properly. So that's why I add this in, because I'm not going to just tell you to go on Amazon or go to the health food store and buy, bentonite clay or zeolite if I don't trust the company and how they've sourced it. And again, when it specifies nano size, that also matters. Okay, so if this is something you are interested in getting, I do wholesale for them, so I'm happy to just give you my cost just so you can get it cheaper than if you went bought it retail. I make no money on it. I'm just giving you my cost because I want to make sure you have the best for heavy metal detoxing, and it really, really works. It's amazing. Okay. Oh, this is the Ayurveda. I'm gonna skip through this only because Shanti was supposed to teach this part, and I really want her when she's better to come in and do this with us and have you all be able to, just gauge from her experience and information and have her teach this. I just want to honor that for her. And so when she's better, we'll have her come on and do a whole Ayurvedic class for us. She's absolutely amazing. She stayed with me just a few weeks ago, and she brought some tinctures with her. And oh my goodness, they were incredible. I've been enjoying using them so much, and I've learned so much from her in the time we spent together. So it's going to be a joy for her to come on here and teach that with us when she's better. So here we go. Is this for this screen here, Amy? Or the one before that? This is for this one? So how do you put this all together? Is this screen? Okay. So how do you put all this together? For everyday support, we have the daily approach using foundational wellness products like VMG, E Omegas, PB Restore, and Revitazen. That's your foundation, right? That starts everything. This gives you steady nourishment, hydration, and stress support as your baseline. If you want a gentle reset every few months, choose the 30-day cleanse and restore. It's a light 30-day program with 3 phases that supports your liver and your gut so you feel clearer and lighter. And for a deeper transformation, we recommend the 90-day reset challenge. Over 3 months, it prepares your body and gently cleanses and then renews your energy and habits. You'll also get ongoing support from a WhatsApp group from our team. And I know that we also have with Denise, we have some other potential options to get some emails and things like that that could help support you through your reset. Because a lot of it, when you're starting it, you may have questions. We just want to make sure you have a space to ask questions and also to maybe get some daily emails and things or weekly that you can be reminded of some things as you're going through the process because you're learning some things here. You may watch the recording later, but as you're going through it, it may be nice to just get some extra information and support. And that's what we're here as a community to do for each other. So, in short, daily equals consistent foundation. 30 days is a quick tune-up. 90 days a reset and complete rebuild. Which one feels like the right fit for you right now? Put it in the comments. What do you feel like you're ready to get started with? A daily consistent foundation, a 30-day quick tune-up, or a 90-day complete reset? More info on the 90-day reset, 30-day and daily in this blog post. So there's a blog post here. I guess Amy will include that in the comments or something like that. Yeah. So you can read more about it. I believe there's some extra goodies and gifts that doTERRA gives you as you go through the 90-day program. One of them, even though I have most of the products already, I'm probably going to buy the kit anyway and do all the things just because I want that one free cup with the little spinny thing that I want to get. So their gifts are always, their stuff is just always so awesome and so convenient for the products that we use on a daily basis. Now that we've supported the body with cleaning and gentle detox, let's talk about something that ties everything together, which is emotions and energy. What we feel doesn't just stay in our head. Unprocessed emotions can create tension in the body and even a heavy feeling in our home. The good news? We can learn to let that energy move again with simple, natural tools. It's my favorite part, energy and healing and emotions. Emotions are literally emotion energy. Emotion, energy in motion. A pure emotion only lasts about 90 seconds in the body. What lingers afterward is usually the story we keep repeating to ourselves. When we suppress those feelings, the energy gets stuck and can create tension, fatigue, and dis-ease in the body. Louise Hayes taught this so beautifully in her classic book, You Can Heal Your Life. If you haven't read that book, highly, highly recommend it. She explained how unresolved emotions often show up physically: tight shoulders from carrying burdens, stomach issues from fear or worry, skin problems when we feel unprotected, especially for women. Chronically suppressed emotions have been linked to higher rates of autoimmune disorders because ongoing stress keeps cortisol high and driving chronic inflammation and throwing the immune system off balance. The good news, we can help that energy move again. This is so true. I remember years ago, I had this rash on my neck, like these little bumps that came up out of nowhere, which I really am not prone to that sort of thing. Like I don't ever get breakouts and acne. I just thankfully wasn't prone to that. But I got these bumps on my neck and I was already using oils. I had put oils and all the different things, and it helped a little bit, but they just weren't completely were going away. And I couldn't figure it out. It was weeks and weeks of this. And I went to visit a friend of mine who's into all of this stuff too and understands, probably read this book, I'm sure, and many other things about energy and things like that. And she said, think about think about someone or something going on in your life that you've not been speaking out your truth about. Like you've been holding in something and not communicating something inside that is just stuck in you. And she said that and it hit me like a ton of bricks because there was absolutely a relationship at the time that I did not have the opportunity to speak how I felt about the situation and just all of that, right? Get it all out. And I probably wasn't going to get the opportunity because the communication was severed at that point. So I'm like, oh, great. So I'm just stuck with this rash forever. And she said, no, write everything out, just get it out on paper, process all of that, speak it out loud, say the words, get it on paper, and then burn it or rip it up or whatever you need to do. And I thought, all right, I'm going to do this because I don't want, I've tried everything else. So I did that. I wrote everything out, I spoke it, cut it up. I don't remember if I burned it or not because who knows. But then I probably didn't want to cause a fire, but ripped it up, got rid of it. I kid you not, within not even days, maybe a couple of days, it was gone. And I didn't even like put more oils. I said, I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna stop on my protocol. I'm just gonna like do this and see. It was gone. Gone and never to return. So this is real stuff. And there's science behind it. I mean, I know this stuff and I've seen even in my, I'm a mental health therapist also. So even in my practice, I've seen it time and time again where people come in with these emotional traumas, with these things, right? That's where they're coming to see me. But they'll also complain of certain physical ailments, like a shoulder issue that never went away, or it's constant and chronic, or something in a certain part of their body. And as I've learned more of these concepts, and Chinese medicine uses this a lot, like you can look up certain even in like acupuncture Chinese medicine, if you have a certain type of pain, they usually connect it to a type of trauma or more specific thing like that way. And so I started learning those things and implementing it into my clinical work with the patient or the client. Let's say if I knew that the pain was in this part of the body and that meant something about a maternal struggle, let's say, if that's what I read in the book, I would bring that up more in the session. What's your relationship with your mom? And, what is this and what is that? And da 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 da. And just kind of experiment in that way. And, I would notice maybe, after a few sessions and things like that over time, I noticed they wouldn't complain about the pain as much. And I would then ask them, oh, by the way, did you start taking a different medication? Did you have a surgery? Did you do anything for that pain? You haven't mentioned it. You used to mention it every time you'd sit down in the chair. Oh, you'd mention it and you haven't. I've been watching and noticing that. And they would go, you know what? I didn't realize it, but I don't feel it anymore. I didn't do anything different. I just kind of went away. And I knew it was that trapped emotion in the body. So your body's giving you messages all the time. And, it's very easy to blame it on an old injury or old age or whatever. Be more conscious of, what you're really feeling and processing those things. And if maybe you need therapy, that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean we're crazy when we go to therapy. I think everyone should be in therapy, at least do check-ins the way we do check-ins for our physical body. Like, no one says, oh, you're going to the doctor this year because, oh my God, you must be dying or it was something wrong with you. No, you do that because you do check-ins and you want to prevent things, right? The same thing should apply to mental health. Yet normally that's not the case. You know, people go get mental health when they're at the end of their rope, unfortunately, right? Okay. And then we're going to learn today too how you can have tools at home so that you don't wait until you're at that point, but you are preventatively taking care of yourself every single day. And here's one of my favorite tools, the doTERRA Emotional Aromatherapy Kit and its wheel. It comes with 6 targeted blends: motivate, cheer, passion, forgive, console, and peace. Just look at the wheel, find how you're feeling, and it shows you the perfect oil blend to help shift that. Because the oils go straight to the emotional center of your brain, you can feel the support in seconds. Go ahead and screenshot this so you keep the wheel handy. This is a great wheel. I keep this wheel up in all of my offices, whether I'm providing mental health therapy or anything else, and I always use the oil that the person feels like they need. And something really cool that I've done in the past too is I will have people smell the oils without looking at the name and then ask them after they've smelled each oil which one they feel most drawn to. And then they'll before they know the name, I'll say number one, number two, number three, like I'll number them. And then I'll also ask them to um wait a minute, I just let somebody in and now I lost my thing. I'll ask them to then look at the wheel and pick the emotion that they feel, they want to decrease. And 9 times out of 10, the person would pick the oil connected to that emotion by just having smelled it. And their body knew that they needed it. Super cool little experiments you can do, right? Because if you're not sure, just smell the oils and see what you're. Jamie, if you could let the people in, because every time I click to let them in, I lose my space here. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And it's super cool. I just love doing all that kind of kooky stuff. Just call me kooky, kooky hippie. These blends make emotional support practical. Instead of needing a long ritual, you can use them in seconds during real life moments before work, before sleep, during stress, or anytime you need comfort or balance. The touch versions are especially great because they're pre-diluted and ready to roll on. Or with the 5 ml bottles, you can create your own DIY rollers, sprays, baths, blends, or diffuser combinations personalized to your needs. I always say the Forgive blend should come in gallon size because that's a super important emotion that a lot of us have to work through. Forgiveness, right? And again, 9 times out of 10, it's not even forgiving other people, it's forgiving ourselves. That's a really, really big one. So that's one I keep pretty handy all the time. Somatic movement is about listening to the body and letting it move emotions out naturally. No need to analyze everything. Things like shaking like a dog after a bath, moving the hips where we often store grief or shame, or simple spinal waves can discharge that builds up tension. Combine this with inhaling a grounding oil like frankincense or balance, and you can create a really powerful release. It's gentle, effective, and feels incredibly freeing once you try it. Other ones would be adaptive, peace is a really good one too. Some people really love vetiver. That's one of those oils that you either love or don't. But when you do love it, it's very, very, very grounding. It's come from roots. So it just depends on your the sense that you enjoy. Our homes absorb the emotional energy of the people living there. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and can instantly tell an argument just happened? The air feels thick. There's real science behind an emotional contagion. Our bodies release stress hormones and scent molecules that linger. Clutter can symbolize trapped, stagnant energy. It often leads to mental fog, fatigue, and heavier moods. The clutter that usually represents unreleased past experiences, avoided decisions, or emotional weight that we're still carrying. The beautiful part? Clearing space really does clear energy. As you've already done with green cleaning, small shifts like opening windows, diffusing uplifting oils, or playing music can make your home feel lighter and calmer almost immediately. Reiki channels universal life force energy, known around the world as ki or chi, prana or ki with a K, to support balance and healing. The science is actually pretty mind-blowing. A 2022 systemic review in Frontiers in Psychology, so this is a published scientific journal, it found that Reiki produces significantly greater reductions in stress, anxiety, and depression compared to a placebo. So this was an actual controlled study, and it was double blind. I read into the study, so it was pretty freaking cool to see what was caused with the Reiki. In fact, I was so impressed by it that I decided to get certified in Reiki because of the studies. And it's something I've been around for years and years. I have had practitioners work on me, but never really felt as inclined to learn about it more until I learned how incredible the science behind it is. So with this study, what they did was it was double blind. So the people getting the Reiki didn't know whether they were getting they all the people getting the Reiki thought they were really getting the Reiki, even if they weren't. They were told they were. The people giving the Reiki thought they had really learned how to give the Reiki, even though they hadn't learned, with the master the proper way. They were just told, put your hands like this to do the motions and everything, just like it would be Reiki, but they hadn't gone through the attunements or anything. And they thought they were really getting Reiki. And the people thought they were really receiving Reiki. And yet the changes only happen with the people who were masters and attuned. It's incredible. And not only that, and hopefully we can even give you, if you want to read the study, it's like all this, especially with things that get that nose turned up on, like Reiki, energy, no, woo woo, what? That's the stuff, nothing, no. Read the studies because it's real, or even people who may think, oh, wait a minute, that goes against, what I believe or whatever. It's just us, like you said, energy is everywhere. It's scientific, right? So in the study, it also showed that because they referenced other studies that have been done, it showed that they took petri dishes, like we just saw in the slide with the chemicals and everything, and they put cells that have been exposed to radiation. And then masters did Reiki on the cells, and it improved the cells just with that. I mean, such powerful stuff. I was like, I need to learn how to do this. Like, I want to know how to do this Reiki stuff. And I've been learning. It's been incredible. I've been really enjoying it and really feeling it. I feel a shift. Now, I work with sick people, especially now. A large part of my month, I'm working with sick people, whether it's emotional, physical, and I can feel when the energy gets heavy in the room, and I can feel when I can clear it out, and people notice it. It's been awesome. It's been really cool and really cool to see the science behind it. Okay, so let's see here. Where was I? So in psychology found that Reiki produced significantly greater reductions in stress, anxiety, and depression compared to the placebo, with some very large effect sizes, especially when symptoms were clinically elevated. So it worked even better with the sicker the person was. So it wasn't like, oh, the person really wasn't that bad. No, the sicker they were clinically, the more it helped. Other recent meta-analysis show it also helps reduce pain and improve quality of life. Studies show that Reiki activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, improves heart rate variability, a key marker of resilience, and can even lower cortisol. And the fact that cortisol in women stays in our gut and makes us very difficult to lose belly fat, like get that out of my body, please. Thank you. It pairs wonderfully with the oils, somatic practices, and awareness we've talked about today. You now have a complete natural toolkit, a cleaner home, a lighter body, and ways to keep your energy flowing freely. And we have an extra, is that the end one? Is that the end of the presentation? Okay. And we have an extra treat today because our very own, well, one of our very own, because we have a couple of Reiki masters on our team, but one of our very own Reiki masters is going to do some virtual Reiki with us. And that's something I want to, that I didn't share in the earlier. Um, and you want to stop sharing? Do you have a screen for this? Okay. Because I want to mention that in the studies that we just talked about, they also studied whether the person, if the person wasn't in the room. So they did the studies where it was virtual. The person was getting Reiki virtually in a whole nother place, and the master was in a whole nother place. And on top of that, in some cases, the people receiving the Reiki weren't told when they were going to receive it or that they received it either. So they didn't even know that they were receiving it and they still had the benefits. So, and with that said, we're going to have the gift and the privilege of experiencing some Reiki today with our very own Reiki master on our team. And I would love for her to share anything else she wants to share about it that maybe I didn't cover. Um, and yeah, and just enjoy this. And like I said, take this with you into the rest of your day. Again, keep our Shanti in your prayers and maybe, send some of that vibe to her and her healing. I believe in the power of groups for that. So this is a beautiful group that we can help her feel better and heal faster, with this and use it for yourself as well. Enjoy the Reiki and whatever you're dealing with, let's have Ingrid help us clear that so we can get into our weekend, into the rest of our week, into the rest of our year with that beautiful sense of energy clearing and receiving the beautiful Reiki energy that will help us in every way that we need. Thank you for being on. I love you all. And hopefully we'll see you soon. And thank you to Ingrid. Let me pin Ingrid now so she can come on and take us into the last part of the class.
Thank you. Thank you, Marlene. Hey, everyone. My name is Ingrid. I have a practice called Prana House, and prana meaning life energy, and Reiki, ki meaning life energy as well, and chi, so it's utilizing all the life energy wording. And I've been a Reiki practitioner for 13 years, more than 13 years, and the reason why I was introduced to Reiki was because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 17. And through her diagnosis, the doctor actually recommended for her to receive Reiki as a means of coping with her diagnosis. Like for him, first of all, it was really amazing at the time, because this is more than 15 years ago, that a doctor in New Jersey, such a conservative state, would have recommended Reiki. And the woman, he gave us her business card. The woman came to my mom's house. She set up a massage table and did the session. We had never heard of Reiki before. We grew up Catholic. My mom's family is very Catholic in Colombia. So for us, this kind of energy work, holistic medicine was mostly stuff that we heard about curanderas, like home medicine that our grandmothers would do. That's the most, the holistic approach that we knew, but it wasn't really tied into energy work, or that wasn't really talked about other than talking about praying and, Catholic verbiage, if you will. And when this woman came and did a session on my mom, it was just my mom was blown away. Like the what she felt and the healing that she received that day was very transformative to the point where it got her very intrigued about what Reiki was. We went out of our way to look for, because my mom doesn't speak Spanish very well, so we found a Reiki master. It was a couple, a wife and a husband that were trained in Spanish. So my mom was able to take the classes in Spanish. And in that journey, my mom became a Reiki practitioner. She became a Reiki master, and she started doing Reiki on me while I was in college. And as my mom was in this journey of becoming a Reiki practitioner, receiving Reiki, and doing Reiki on herself, she was in her cancer diagnosis journey as well. So she had surgeries and she had all the different kinds of treatments, and to see how my mom was coping and how her body was managing her diagnosis in comparison to her peers, like what in the hospital, you know, we would go and they would all be receiving different kinds of treatments. And my mom, like, she never lost her hair. She didn't have all the insane nausea and throwing up and like restless nights. Like, she didn't experience that as severely. Like, it's almost, you can't even compare because she was doing so well. It was unbelievable. So that just in itself, you know, put us onto Reiki. Like, it made us huge believers, right? And then it got us in this path. And at least for myself and my brother, we dived into this journey of holistic medicine. And I was going through some car accident, chronic back pain issues as well, and seeing how it was supporting me, and just kind of aligning life and people in our life in a more holistic manner. It just became very evident once we became more in line with the Reiki energy and just like that practice. So with that, it's just been really beautiful to see that journey that we experienced. Like, my mom and I, we started a breast cancer support groups called Angeles Rosados in New Jersey, and we would go and do Reiki on women because in that area that I lived, there weren't any support groups for Latino women. So they would say it would support groups in Spanish, but they actually didn't speak in Spanish. It would be in English. So me and my mom started a support group. We would speak in Spanish and support them, go to the hospitals. Like, most of the women didn't understand their diagnosis because they didn't speak the language. So we were going into the hospitals and helping them understand their diagnosis and the treatments that they were getting, and just supporting them at home. It was, you know, it's so crucial. Like, so many of Latinos that live here, they don't have extended families, they don't have people to support when things of this nature are happening, people to take care of the kids. So I was babysitting a lot of kids at that time while their moms were getting their treatments, or helping them take them to cheerleading practice. And now, you know, they're in their 20s. So it's beautiful to have been part of that journey and experience, because it, you know, gave us more. It just redirected our lives, right, for my family and I, and just put us in this path. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that journey that was very hard at times, but it was also very rewarding when we got to do and support women in that process. And now, like, I still am in contact with a lot of the girls that I would babysit, and now they're in their 20s, and seeing them going to college or what they're doing with their lives. And it's just beautiful to know that, you know, we were part of that for them. Um, but yeah, so Reiki has been very crucial in my life. Like, I moved to LA for a while, and out there was where I met Shanti and learned about Ayurveda. So tying in all the herb knowledge and all of the holistic healing, and how we can augment that with energy work, with Reiki. You know, when I'm using the oils, like, I'm just not applying it, but I'm also doing Reiki on it to augment that energy that the herbs and the flowers have in them. So, so what I was thinking about doing today would just be, if anyone has some oils, we can start, and everyone can hear me fine, right? So I'm gonna do a little bit of a guided meditation, just wind you down into a relaxed state. And the idea is for you to, if, well, I guess, has anyone has has everyone received Reiki before in the room, or are there people that has never received Reiki? Yeah? Okay, cool. I love that. All right, beautiful. So, what you want to think about is energy from source, from God, whatever you feel comfortable with acknowledging, is coming down, is coming into your body, And as I'm the practitioner, channeling this energy and allowing it to flow out to all of you, and you're allowing yourself to be in an open, receptive state. As I wind you down into a relaxed state, we're gonna set an intention. Start thinking about an intention for today, for this moment. What is something that is not serving you in your life right now? Something that would need to be removed. That if this situation, this circumstance, this could be removed from your life, how would it enhance your life? And then you want to think about when you're emptying out, you're leaving space for it to be filled, right? So most of the time when we're emptying, when we're releasing, a lot of people don't have an intention of what it is that you want to bring into your life. So then all of a sudden you're walking around with this empty space that used to be filled up with a trauma that you just released, thankfully. But now we don't know how to exist without that empty feeling, right? And we don't know how to exist. So now we want to fill it in with what is going to bring that purpose, what is going to bring that your goals into your life, what is going to nurture your being, and what is going to allow you to feel joyful, fulfilled, happy, excited about your life, about waking up in the mornings, about engaging with the people around you, with your kids, with your grandkids, with your spouses, partners, friends, families, co-workers. So, so giving you a little bit of time for you to think about your intentions. Again, we're going to think about what do we want to release from our life and what do we want to bring in. And as we're releasing, you want to think about that energy going into the earth to be transmuted. The same way we purify water. It goes down through all the different layers of soil. You want to think about that energy that you're releasing, that is coming out of the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. It's going into the earth to be transmuted into pure energy, to be recycled. So you want to allow yourself to think about the energy that comes out of your body to go into the earth to be transmuted so that you maybe have a more enhanced feeling of being grounded and being safe and being protected by Mother Earth. So let's take a deep breath. If you have your oils, you can apply your oils. And when we exhale, let's do a loud exhale. Allow yourself to release. We'll do one more deep breath. And a loud exhale. Allow yourself to relax. You want to start relaxing your toes, relax your body, relax your toes, and your feet, and your ankles. Relax. Take one more deep breath, loud exhale, release all the tension of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. So you're relaxing your body. You're feeling a little heavy, a little calmer. You're relaxing your calf. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs, your hips. Relax. Relax your belly button, your stomach. Relax your hips, your torso. Relax your lungs. Relax. Relax your heart, your chest, your breast. Relax your shoulders. Relax. Relax your arms, your hands, your fingers, your elbows. Oh, relax your jaw, your lips, relax your teeth and your tongue. Relax. Relax your nose, your cheeks. Relax your eyes and your eyebrows, your third eye, your forehead, your crown. Relax. Now allow yourself to imagine a lotus flower blossoming through your crown, facing up into the sky, and imagine the energy from source, beautiful, pure energy coming down through this lotus flower, through your crown, into your body, right into your heart. Feel that energy building, this beautiful, pure energy, full of love and compassion and strength. Feel that energy building in your heart. Allow it to expand throughout your body. And now allow yourself to feel where in your body are you feeling any tightness and maybe any negative emotion like anger and frustration, resentment or pain, inflammation, any negative emotion you may experience. Where is it in your body? Give yourself a moment to feel your body, your being, and allow that energy, beautiful, pure energy, to go into those areas and allow that energy to massage, kind of like when you're going to get a massage and they are releasing the tightness. Allow that energy to release that emotion, that pain, that anger, that frustration, that jealousy, that resentment, any negative emotion you may experience. Allow that energy to dissolve. And as it dissolves, allow that energy to flow out of your body through the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Allow it to go into the earth, to be transmuted. And as the energy from source is coming down through this lotus flower, through your crown, through your body, into your heart, filling you with love and joy and compassion. Now think about your intentions for today. What are your intentions for today's healing session? Give yourself a moment to remind yourself what you want to release and what you want to bring into your life. Instruments, keep your attention in your mind, something and allow that energy to flow out and your intentions to fill you. Rubbing your fingers and your toes. You want to rub your palms together. Feel that energy building up in between your hands. Mm. When you feel like you're ready, you can put your hands over your eyes. And balancing the masculine and the feminine energy. And with a smile on your face, you want to give gratitude for the healing session that you received today, the education, the information that you received. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well, some of you could probably take a nap after. Yeah. Mhm. How are we feeling? So tying in energy and oil for me has been so amazing because how much more it enhances the experience working with the herbs and the flowers in the form of oils has been such a blessing because you can, I mean, first of all, have it in your fingertips, like access to things that would be very hard to to have such a pure form, and then being able to utilize that energy that these flowers like helichrysum is one of my favorites now that I just got recently, and I'm just obsessed with it. And what is it, magnolia is another one that I'm obsessed with right now. So I'm loving working with these oils and
Blue
seeing how
Lotus is
much
my favorite, one of my favorites for this too.
right
Mhm.
here. Yes.
Such a powerful one.
Yes, and it's seeing like I work at a school and I work with special needs kids. So I'm with the ESD department and my kids are um, could be pretty really harsh, really harsh. This week we had one of our kids almost maim one of our teachers. It was really scary, and this happens every other week. So it's been really hard. So I'm like diffusing the oils, and we can definitely see the difference when
Mhm.
I'm diffusing the oils, when I'm like doing the practice more often. And even recently now the teachers come by my room just so they can smell my room because they love it. I'm like, you can have some too, you know? But funny, it's one of those things that I love experiencing, little like confirmations just because it keeps us reminded that what we're doing is, you know, really happening, even when you're not consciously thinking of it all the time. But I had my oils, I always take out my little pouch and take out my oils and I put them on like right before we start class. So I get there a couple minutes early. And one of the teachers came by and she sat down and was telling me what she was experiencing. And she's like, "Oh, can I use one of these?" And because I always offer them. And yeah, I was like, "Yeah, of course, grab one." So she grabbed Magnolia and she put it on, and within like 2 minutes, she was like, "Wow, I felt like so much tension in my head." And like, I put this oil, and she's like, "What is this?" I didn't even know which one she put on because I had like six of them out. So I like looked at it and I was like, "Oh, Magnolia." And because it's a new oil for me, I'm like, I still don't know all the and literally I looked it up and it said reduce stress, tension. And then I showed her, I was like, this is exactly what that oil does. It reduces tension and stress. And that was the exact one that you needed because, you know, obviously that's what, the ones that she gravitated to pick. But it's so cool when there's experiences like that, always.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the comments here. Denise says she had an interesting visual. And I think that's something that like happens a lot with Reiki is people get these like visualizations. And I had some pretty interesting ones myself when I was working with Ingrid and getting the attunement.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just things coming to the surface that are, maybe messages we need. I mean, it can be interpreted so many different ways, right? But it's just awesome. It's just things in our subconscious in ourselves that are being revealed when we kind of just get to that meditative state, I think.
yeah,
If you really enjoy, just to remind everyone too, if you want to learn more about this or you're intrigued, or we're gonna have an in-person, if you're local to us, an in-person session tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah,
yeah.
tomorrow at 3 p.m. We're gonna go over this class again. So if you can come later, that's fine too. But we'll do some Reiki in person. And I'm hoping that over time, when, people get more interested and want to learn more about it or want to have an extra tool in your toolbox, right? We have the oils as a
Yeah.
tool. We have the aroma touch technique as a tool that we can learn and implement with ourselves and with our family members. All the things we learn are just different tools, sound. I couldn't hear the sound in this. I don't know if did anyone else hear the sound? Yeah, I don't know, Ingrid. Maybe we have to like work on the practice with the speaker and see, because that really amplifies so much when we're doing Reiki.
So
Is
you
like,
couldn't hear any of the sounds
no,
like this?
no, mm-mm. You might need a microphone or some other type of thing to help with that, with the virtual stuff. We'll do some. This
Yeah,
is the first time we're doing this. I'm hoping that like every month when we do a class, no
yeah,
matter what the topic is, to end with something like this that kind of just brings us all,
yeah,
again, even in just community, even if it's just spreading that energy to the world that needs so much healing, if we don't need it that
yeah,
week, that month, maybe we can just share it with others, right? But
yeah.
over time, if you get more intrigued, I'm really hoping we can create some sort of course where you can get your attunements, even if you're not looking to do it on anyone else or work with it in a practice, but just to have it, like I was doing it on myself, as we were doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've learned how to do that, and I can feel it, like I really, even in my hands, like if they're more sore, they're not sore right now. It's bizarre, like it's wild, but like yeah,
Yeah.
it's just another tool that we can learn for ourselves and get those attunements. And I do really believe, even though I know now there's so many things online you can learn and get certified and blah, 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 it's such a different experience when you do it in person in community and you feel that. And, I know Jamie's also can attest to that as well. And we hope to create, different courses like that where we implement
Yeah.
all the tools, the oils with this, with everything. So, tomorrow we'll be doing it for again in person. And then in May, our class is going to be all around, just honoring the feminine and moms and self-care. I want to do a special event in person where we can come together and again just have some pampering, some self-care, get away from the
Yeah.
kids for a couple hours and just, come and experience that. So if you're local, again, share that, come and maybe share with a new friends and bring a new friend along because we also want to see new faces when we do the in-person classes, right? And you guys know people that need this. Just drag them over.
Yeah.
They will not regret it. It's never been a time when people are drugged to an event that I give and they go, I wish I
Exactly.
didn't come. They're always like, oh, thank God they brought me here. So do, like really put yourself out there and invite people because when you have something that you trust and believe in and it's really helping you, I feel like it's our duty to spread that, to take ourselves out of the equation and like really just spread that to others and plant that seed in others. And we'll also be doing it online as well, just like this. But, we can't physically do the DIY stuff, but we can give you the recipes so you can do that and maybe do a fun raffle for the ones we do in person. But I also want to do like focus on breast health and really provide some great recipes for breast health serums and things that we can utilize on a daily basis. Again, preventatively. Let's not wait until like, oh, the doctor says I have a weird bump or a weird thing on my test. Like, let's do these things preventatively all the
Yeah.
time. And yeah, so that's going to be for May. And I'm hoping to really, do these every month in Zoom, at least one, do our in-person ones. And we didn't get a chance to do this one in Spanish, unfortunately. My month just got away from me. But hopefully we can also provide it in Spanish as well. So Amy's
Beautiful.
asking about sharing. So I think everyone on here, the people that are left on here, already share or know how to share, or if you're not, because if Amy, if you can share that PowerPoint, yes, I would like to just quickly go through it. If you're already familiar with the Path to 500 and you know it and you're implementing it, you don't have to stay on the call. Thank you for being on. I hope you got everything you wanted and needed out of this class. And if you just want to refresh on it, welcome to stay on. And I just want to do it anyway because this is getting recorded, and so people that are going to be sent this may not be familiar. And I want everyone to know that, right? They can have all of these products completely covered just by sharing with their surrounding communities that there's a better way than what those people are doing, whether it's cleaning products or oils or anything, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that really quick. Share the Path to 500. And is the Path to 500 on here, Amy, or is this just the older one? Because I can then just verbally explain it. I think this is an older one. What we can do while I'm teaching a bit of this is just if you can Google and find just an image of the new Path to 500, I can quickly go over that instead of one of the other slides so that we can go through it. Um, but it went away. You're not able to keep it on while I'm, oh, okay. Well, then let's just quickly find that. Because it has changed significantly. And one of the changes, a couple of the changes, but one specifically is so important to share because it really makes it way easier to reach this. And $500. I mean, I know most of you, your rewards card could easily get to $500 every month and you still don't have everything you need. But if you are one of those who does have everything they need within 100 or two, that extra $300 could be, insurance for your house, insurance for your car, a car payment. I mean, I don't know about a car payment anymore these days, but it could definitely help. Studies show that just $500 extra a month could keep people from getting evicted from their homes, keep them fed. I mean, it's life-changing for many people out there. So, you may know someone that really needs that extra money. And that's just the beginning of it, but it's just a lot easier to do that. Just casually sharing, like I said, with people that you already know in your community that you could put a little bit of oil on and show them the light and show them that, there's a better way. Invite them to these Zoom classes if you're not local and you have a place to bring them to. Share the recordings with them if they can't be on live. Just do your part to spread that awareness, and your oils could eventually be paid for in full and then some. I know many people on the call have already accomplished that. And if you have, put it in the chat. How long, how many years you've been living with your oils and your products and your green cleaning and all the things completely reimbursed by the company simply because you cared enough about your neighbor to share the light that there is a better way to live and be toxic free. Okay, perfect. This is good. So basically, when you help someone new get started with the foundational wellness, that's just an example. It could be with anything, but the foundation is important, right? This is what we were to remind you, the VMG, the omegas, the restore. They will receive gifts. So they will receive that awesome glass bottle there with the little shaker thingy for their VMG. They will receive a free peppermint oil. Okay. So that's if you choose this, and they will receive the product of the month, which changes every month. So 3 amazing gifts. And how do you do this? Well, you help just 4 people. So I think the first step is this. You got to be on foundational wellness. You just learned about it. You learned about what it can detox in your body. You learned about the nutrition of the VMG. Give yourself a month or 2 or 3 on it. Do the reset 3 months. See how it transforms your life. And then I promise you, you're not going to be able to stay quiet about it with other people. And you're easily going to find 4 people that need this in their life. And you'll earn that $100 back. Teach 3 of them to do the same, and you'll earn $300. So you help at least 3 more people get started, and then you'll be at the 500. So it can happen really quickly. And here's the beautiful thing. When they're using, depending on how many people you help, it doesn't matter what they order. So it could be that some people they decided to drink the lemon in their water. That's keeping their bodies cleaned out. They're feeling amazing. They live by that lemon in their water, but that's all they get every month. It will still count toward what you need for that. So that's the beautiful part that has changed. Because before, if it wasn't 101 order, it didn't count for this bonus. So that's a beautiful change that doTERRA created. Is there another slide? It's blank on my end. It's like blinking. That's weird. That's so bizarre. It's just blinking. You see it? I mean, that's basically the path to 500. So essentially, again, you help three people is if, right? That's if what they're ordering would add up to 500, but that might not be the case. So it doesn't matter. You could share with, let's say, 10 people that order just 50 a month. That would still provide you with that first level of the bonus, which is that $100. And in doTERRA, in order for you to earn any money, you have to spend 100. So really, with just that first level, your oils could be paid for in full. Okay. Then out of all of those people ordering, right, to make that first 500 pod, as we call it, only 3 of those would need to duplicate that and do that with their community. And then you'd be at the second level, which is that 250 all the way up to 500. Now, it does go further than that. So if it takes on a life of its own, which will happen if you deliberately do this and structure your people properly and teach them this model, the third level is a minimum of $1,250 all the way to $1,750. Okay. So essentially, I believe, I don't remember, I can't remember how many people it is. I'd have to count, but I can tell you that this is very, very easy to do when you're just deliberately sharing how they have made you feel, and other people do the same. I just started a few months ago, like I said, out here in the country, doing a treatment called Class 4 laser on people in doctor's offices. And it's just, I just have to smile at myself because it's not that I'm not focused on introducing doTERRA, because I'm always focused on that. The people think they're coming to me mainly for the laser. And they do, and they get benefits from it. But it's so cool to watch when that thing clicks in their brain and they start asking me more about the oils, more about what they could do, asking me for little booklets, asking me for what can help their husband. And now, some of these ladies in the area where I'm working are retired, so they're, able to do what they want with their day now. And a couple have actually said to me, I really love what you're creating in our area. If you need any help with anything, could I volunteer and help you? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to do events? And I haven't even yet said any of that because quite frankly, I don't have the bandwidth for it to do it on my own. So it's a beautiful thing that organically people are just offering themselves up to helping me with it as volunteers, by the way. They don't even know about the path to 500. I haven't even explained that to them. They're just like, I'm retired, so I have this extra time, and I just love what you're doing. And so what a testament, right, to what this is creating. And it doesn't matter. Like, I could go to Timbuktu, the edge of the earth, and I bet you the same thing would happen. And that's why doTERRA has become what it's become. It's such a powerful movement in the world, and people feel that. So, just share, keep your samples with you. I always have samples of VMG. One of the ladies was going to go on a trip to Morocco. And I was like, here, take your On Guard lozenges, take a few of these, take a few of that. She's like, okay, what is this? What is this? I just sample them up, help them. And And maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't, but it's, I detach from that outcome at this point in the game, right? It's all about like, I know what it does for people. I'm in the position to share that with others, as far as giving all this stuff away that I can do now. And I love being able to do that. I love being able to give people tools, and then when they come back, like, oh my God, everybody around me had got sick and I didn't get sick. What the heck is in this stuff? We teach them more, we invite them to a class, or I have this video to send them. So anyways, if you want to dive deeper into that, maybe understand more about the structure, or you're ready to get started and you have a few people that you've been thinking about sharing with and you're not sure how to go about it, message me, message Amy, message Ingrid, message Dee, whoever invited you to the class, and let's get started with sharing. Okay. So this class went a little bit longer than we normally do, but I really felt like doing the Reiki at the end is so cool and awesome. And, if it's something that people don't want to stay for, they can leave it an hour, and those who have the time can stay. So thank you to those who did, and I hope to see you next month. And if you're going to do the reset, you'll be getting an email from us where Amy's going to detail there the WhatsApp groups and all the different things that we can connect you to gain that extra support throughout your process of your 3-month detox reset. And I'll be talking to Denise to see if we can implement the other program too in some way, if it's easy to do that. Because again, I am so busy now, I can't even think straight. But if there's a way to do it that's simple, or we could implement that, that'll be in the email as well. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your weekend. Love you all and see you next time.